This week on ANN, the Adventist Church in North America honors veterans.
Professors at Southwestern University take home television's top honor.
And Adventists in South Africa develop an important ministry for the deaf.
These stories and more coming up.
Thank you so much for joining us this week.
The North American Division Adventist Chaplaincy Ministries, NADACM, hosted its first ever ceremony in honor of Veterans Day entitled You Are Not Forgotten, a salute to veterans on Saturday, November 10.
More than 200 people attended the Sabbath afternoon program, which happened to fall on the 242nd birthday of the United States Marine Corps at the division's headquarters in Columbia, Maryland.
Each seat held a buddy poppy, the official memorial flower of the veterans of the foreign wars of the United States. A table was set up on the stage to remember prisoners of war.
ACM leaders recognized 4 servicemen for their extraordinary service in their fields. Honorees included Sergeant First Class Joseph D. Anderson for his service to the Army during the Vietnam War and his leadership as Ward Master for Male Orthopedics at the Fitzsimmons Army Medical Center in Denver, Colorado.
Frank DeMazzo was honored for the 60 years of advocacy and mentoring for the White Coats, 2,300 soldiers who volunteered as human subjects in experiments from 1954 to 1973 to develop the science of defensive capabilities against biochemical warfare.
And Brigadier General James Hammond was honored for his outstanding public service in South Carolina National Guard and the U.S. state of Maryland as a minister, teacher, counselor, and highly decorated military leader. Leaders
also honored Colonels Richard Dick Stenback, retired, who helped establish Adventist Chaplaincy Ministries as its first director endorser after becoming the first Seventh-day Adventist chaplain to serve as a full colonel in the U.S. Army.
The ceremony concluded with a gracious acknowledgement of the men and women who support their loved ones who serve.
Southwestern Adventist University's Department of Communication has won an Emmy Award. The Emmys are considered the highest honor in the television industry. The award was announced at a televised award ceremony in Houston, Texas on November 10. Professors Kyle Portberry, Michael Agee, and Glenn Robinson each received an Emmy for their work on truth in the category of Historic Culture, Program Feature Segment. In addition, writer-director Kyle Portberry received an Emmy nomination for Outstanding Achievement in Directing. The Emmy Awards ceremony was conducted by the Lone Star Regional Chapter of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. Produced by Southwestern's Institute of Christian Film, Truth tells the story of women's rights activist and abolitionist Sojourner Truth and the speech she delivered at the Women's Convention in Akron, Ohio in 1851. Truth is a graphic novel-style animation featuring the voices of a number of current communication students and staff members, along with professional actors. It is the first episode in the Institute of Christian Film series, Truth Heroes, with Episode 2, Resistance, currently in production. The Emmy Award is the most recent and widely recognized of the many awards that the 3 professors have received during the course of their professional careers. For more information, visit news.adventist.org.
As the Southern Africa Indian Ocean Division embarks in total member involvement, the members are leaving no stone unturned in reaching people. The Adventist Church is passionate about special needs ministries, and it came as no surprise when the first ever Deaf Pathfinder drill was conducted in the SID during evangelistic meetings dubbed Gotten 2018, Sharing Hope and Healing. Our Southern Africa Indian Ocean Division Communications Director, Noel Shabanda, filed this report.
The Special Needs Ministry is a ministry whose time has indeed come. Across our division, church members are embracing this ministry as it plays a formidable part in the mission of the church as tabulated in the book of Revelation 14, verse 6 to 7.
After your matric, what do you want to study?
I want to study entrepreneurship.
I'm at Philadelphia High School, a school for special needs.
I wanna do IT software developing.
Yeah.
And also I was thinking between psychology and law.
The Community Pathfinder clubs in South Africa is something to marvel at, as many places that did not have Pathfinder clubs and churches have been established in many communities because of Gauteng 2018 Sharing Hope and Healing. What is humbling is that the Pathfinders have attracted their parents and dozens have been baptized into the Seventh-day Adventist Church because of their children who have joined the Pathfinder clubs.
My neighbors asked me where my daughter was worshipping, and I told them SDA Church. And because of her behavior and mannerism, we all decided to follow her and join the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And today, we were all baptized.
The climax of the community Pathfinder clubs in South Africa was the formation of the first ever Pathfinder drill for special needs community members. These brothers and sisters of hearing impairment are equally talented and are all needed for the ministry.
When Gauteng for Christ 2018 started, we started with Pastor Larry coming and preaching here, and the Pathfinder started during that week. We didn't see that this dream will be this big.
God has a plan for your life. Find it.
This is not our ministry, but it is God's ministry, and we thank Him for very much for helping us and for giving us power. And we pray that anyone out there who wants to come and join the ministry, can you please come? Because we need more interpreters in the church. Interpreters are very expensive, and if everybody can be an interpreter, the work will go much faster.
Today is my happiest day in my life. I joined the Pathfinders and I was able to march today, and the church donated new uniforms for all of us.
Today was a very special day. Why? Because we got to meet our beautiful friends who trained our children here at school. So we are hoping this project will continue for a long time so that we can improve the lives of children with disabilities, more especially the deaf learners who are part of this project. So we thank the Seventh-day Church for this opportunity. Thank you.
After this heart-rending performance, 5 more girls with hearing disabilities decided to join the Community Pathfinder Club.
All of us, we are happy with what we saw today, the colorful uniforms, and we have decided to join the Pathfinder Club.
And what we have seen, it's really amazing that even the deaf ones can take a command without even hearing any word.
We are experiencing the first ever Pathfinder Club for people with special needs, especially our youth. In the Southern Africa, Indian Ocean Division maybe, and especially in the Southern Africa Union Conference.
Special Needs Ministry is a ministry whose time has come. As we talk of total member involvement, we planned to also have campaigns targeted at special needs.
Well, you know, what's really impressed me about the work that I do with special needs is that these people have been here all along. We're discovering them. I've just been reviewing some of the pictures, and my heart is touched as I see people being carried to the lake to be baptized. These people have been here all along.
As Gauteng 2018 Sharing Hope and Healing comes to an end, it is clear that God's hand is at play, and we praise Him for all these blessings. For the Adventist News Network, I'm Noel Spanda reporting from South Africa.
A unique resource center housed within Loma Linda University Health offers a single location for patients to access services and information designed to treat more than the clinical and medical aspects of a cancer diagnosis.
The Cancer Resource Center advances Loma Linda University's health mission to provide whole-person care, not just treat disease. Patients battling cancer are often overwhelmed with anxiety as they go through testing and diagnosis. They're also flooded with information about their medical condition and potential treatment paths.
Emmy, the coordinator for the Cancer Resource Center, says our services provide focused support to the psychological, social, and spiritual aspects of our patients' lives. All of those pieces must come together for a patient to return to total health. Our patients are not just here for a diagnosis and treatment. We make sure that the right services are made available at the right time. That's our passion.
Each patient visiting the Loma Linda University Cancer Center completes a distress screening form. A nurse navigator reviews the answers and can immediately refer that patient to a wide range of support services that will enhance the clinical side of their care.
Loma Linda University Health's faith-based approach to health and healing adds an important component to the Cancer Resource Center's work. Being able to incorporate a spiritual approach is an intricate part of the care. one that is taboo in many secular institutions.
The Cancer Resource Center services include counseling, nutritional support, exercise classes, support groups, and much more. To find out more about this group, visit news.llu.edu.
Coming up, the Adventist Church in Belarus has a new Bible Society.
And up next, a new Hope radio station opens up in the South Pacific.
We may look, pray, read, think, worship, sing, and share differently, but we all look forward to the Sabbath. And we all look forward to the future when Jesus will come again. With this message in mind, we arrived at a core component for a new identity system, the creation grid, a simple 7-column structure for layout. The grid is a reference both to the prophetic timeline as well as to the creation week that culminated in the 7th-day Sabbath. The first 6 columns of the grid belong to the designer. They can be filled with anything: text, images, illustrations, patterns, and logos. But the 7th column, the Sabbath column, does not belong to them. It is meant to be different and special. Regardless of what or where you are designing, you can always find information to help you communicate that we are all Seventh-day Adventists.
When I think about design through science, I'm compelled to believe that science is a way that God can unlock mysteries and reveal His mysteries of His will. I look to science as being from God. If we believe that God discovered and created everything, then we believe that science and knowledge is a part of Him.
The South Pacific's newest Adventist Hope radio station has hit the airwaves, aimed at sharing the good news about Jesus to the residents of Kiribati.
The new station is located at the Kiribati Mission Headquarters at Korabu, South Tarawa.
On Monday, November 12, it aired for the first time. Radio announcer Tarakati Angirio made the first transmission, later saying that it was a historic day for the church.
The new station, an initiative of the Trans-Pacific Union Mission, is scheduled to be officially open on Thursday, December 13.
The new station aims to reach 60% of the 103,000 citizens of Kiribati, where the church has historically struggled to find a voice.
Recently, the National Belarus Library in Minsk, Russia, featured a month-long international exhibit, Belarus in the Bible, with the support of the Ministry of Culture of the Republic of Belarus.
Organizers aim to acquaint visitors with the history of the Bible in the region and the world, showcasing artifacts, rare manuscripts, and publications of the scriptures.
The Adventist Church in the Eurasia region sends this report.
20 сентября по 21 октября в городе Минске проходила международная выставка под названием «Беларусь и Библия», организованная Национальной библиотекой Беларуси совместно с некоммерческой организацией «Группа исследования рукописей» при поддержке Министерства культуры Республики Беларусь. Организаторы ставили перед собой цель – познакомить посетителей с всемирной, а также белорусской историей Библии. В рамках этой выставки было представлено около 200 уникальных артефактов, отражающих историю создания, распространения и сохранения Библии, среди которых редкие рукописи и издания Священного Писания. Некоторые экспонаты представлены из 11 государственных и частных коллекций США, Великобритании, Южной Кореи и Израиля, демонстрировались в странах Центральной и Восточной Европы впервые. В этом проекте в качестве волонтеров самое активное участие принимали также и члены Церкви христиан-адвентистов седьмого дня. Наши братья и сестры помогали в проведении выставки в качестве экскурсоводов, занимались с детьми в специально обустроенной интерактивной зоне, помогали желающим в переписывании стихов Библии на огромном свитке и даже работали в качестве печатников на копии печатного станка времен Гутенберга. Всего международную выставку посетило более 20 тысяч человек, а если учитывать все связанные с ней мероприятия, то приблизительно 32 тысячи людей. В таком светском государстве, как Беларусь, это воистину ошеломляющий успех. По сути, для всех христиан нашей страны это было самое значимое миссионерское событие 2018 года. Участие Адвентистской церкви в этом проекте во многом изменило отношение к нам представителей многих протестантских церквей, когда они видели нашу открытость, энтузиазм и доброжелательность, а также огромное желание возвысить Христа и Его Слово. Это сильнейшее влияние, которое нельзя переоценить. Многие христиане других конфессий увидели, что мы также очень любим Иисуса и спасаемся не делами, но исключительно по Его благодати.
Coming up, Emily is here to tell you about health emphasizing Sabbath.
But up next, Adventist Mission tells us of an inspiring story in Germany.
We were a group of women outside the city gate by the river at a place of prayer. Lydia, a dealer in purple cloth from Thyatira, was also there. Two men came along and started to speak to us and asked to join us in prayer. We later learned that they were Paul and Silas. The Lord opened Lydia's heart to heed Paul's message. She and all the members of her household were baptized. Another day, Paul and Silas were on their way to a place of prayer. They were met by a female slave who had a spirit in her that could predict the future. She earned a lot of money for her owners by fortune-telling. She followed us and shouted at us. This was disrupting, and so Paul ordered the spirit out of her. When her owners realized that their chance of making money was gone, they dragged Paul and Silas to the authorities, and they were put in prison.
At around midnight, these two very positive prisoners named Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to God. The rest of us were listening to them. Suddenly there was a violent earthquake and the prison shook. All the prison doors flew open and everyone's chains came loose. The jailer woke up, saw all the doors open and drew his sword to kill himself. He thought all the prisoners had escaped, but Paul assured him and shouted that he should not harm himself. The jailer called for lights, rushed in and lay in front of them, trembling. The jailer accepted Jesus Christ, and his whole family was baptized.
Welcome back.
In the heart of Frankfurt, people meet regularly at the Culture Lounge for a new experience with each visit.
And this week, they are cooking an international meal.
Adventist Mission has more.
Tonight's activity is cooking a Mexican dinner with beans, tortillas, guacamole, and homemade sauce. Then savor this delicious meal in a cozy, artsy space. As you enjoy the relaxed atmosphere, you may make a new friend or two. Are you interested? Well, come on back to the kitchen. Tonight, you are a chef alongside other volunteers. Let's get cooking. When the meal is ready, our host, Simrat, welcomes the guests. He also explains where we are.
Presence Culture Lounge is a place where people can get together, experience different cultural activities, and engage in conversations and in good human encounters.
In the highly urbanized city of Frankfurt, Germany, this lounge offers a variety of activities from cooking and eating together to art exhibitions, film screenings, musical performances, and literature and poem readings that are followed by engaging group discussions.
And all these cultural activities are designed for people to come together, learn from each other, experience inspiration, and grow in their personal journeys.
Für mich ist so ein Stück Kultur.
For me, this is a taste of culture and music,
Was man nicht so
something that we don't find easily in this manner. Tonight, we even had a small circle discussion.
I received flyer to opening from Presence Culture Lounge, and it was a fest with a concert. To be a part of the Culture Lounge is very important for me because I met always very interesting peoples from different cultures. I'm very happy to be part of them.
Presence Culture Lounge was inspired by conversations Simrat had with friends. They often discussed life issues and the things they experienced in their own personal journeys. At times, these conversations happened over a meal or were sparked by a movie or book they read. With the support of the Adventist Church, Simrat made this a regular gathering open to everyone, regardless of their racial or religious background.
When people come to Presence Culture Lounge, we communicate openly that this is a project of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and they also hear from me that I'm a pastor and I run this place, and it is a chance or a good opportunity for us as a church to serve others, and many of the people who come here have never heard that the Seventh-day Adventist Church even exists.
In a context where people aren't attracted to religion or institutions, this urban center of influence provides a space for new experiences. Each event is carefully crafted to encourage the open and sincere exchange of ideas. Visitors come regularly to expand their perspectives and grow in new ways. Many Adventist centers of influence operate across the globe. They offer people an opportunity to reflect on life and find answers. Although each center's approach differs in each region, Adventist members seek creative ways to engage the people Christ came to love. Please pray for Seventh-day Adventist Urban Centers of Influence. And thank you for your support of Global Mission.
Watch this and other mission stories online by visiting AdventistMission.org. Then click on videos at the top.
During the holiday season, it can seem hard to remember to take care of our health.
That's why Emily Mastrapa is here to tell you about our Health Emphasis Sabbath on December 8th.
As Seventh-day Adventists, we believe God calls us to care for our bodies, treating them with respect. We believe the key to wellness lies in a life of balance and temperance. Nature creates a wealth of good things that lead to vibrant health. Pure water, fresh air, and sunlight promote clean, healthy lives. December 8 is Health Emphasis Sabbath. A healthy diet helps to protect against malnutrition in all its forms, as well as non-communicable diseases including diabetes, heart disease, stroke, and cancer. Unhealthy diets and lack of physical exercise are the leading global risks to health. At the end of a year, with all of the celebrations, it can be very hard to keep our health on our minds. Let's start off the new year strong and healthy. We should work to promote healthy diets in our families as well as in our communities. You can contact your local conference to see how you can get involved in Health Emphasis Sabbath. Health is a gift from a loving God who wants us to live life in its abundance. When we benefit from such love, we feel a sense of gratitude and appreciation towards our Creator. Because of this, Adventists choose to praise God with joyful, healthy living.
And finally, for today's episode, let's look at Adventist history.
Welcome to a medical mission-focused week in Seventh-day Adventist history. For all of this week in Adventist history, and some of the previous week too, that is on November 21 through 26, 1905, the first North American convention of the General Conference Medical Missionary Department met at College View, Nebraska. The Medical Missionary Department was the precursor of today's Health Ministries Department. That first convention was attended by 24 physicians, 40 nurses, 24 pastors and church administrators, and a dozen enthusiastic laypeople. You see here a group photo of 20 of the doctors. Interestingly, 25 of the 100 attendees were women, including 5 of the physicians. The convention was chaired by Dr. William A. George, superintendent of the Nebraska Sanitarium and chairman of the General Conference's Medical Missionary Council, who in his opening remarks stressed that the meeting should be truly spiritual as well as instructive in technical lines. Among the end results was adoption of 21 resolutions that effectively created a series of policies to foster medical outreach. As one participant later wrote, the meeting marked the beginning of a new era in the medical missionary work of this denomination. Slightly more than 2 years later, a missionary nurse, Charles W. Enoch, died in Port of Spain, Trinidad in the West Indies. He was born 140 years ago this week on December 1, 1878. A native of Kansas, Charles moved to the west coast of the United States, where he trained as a nurse and a masseur and worked at Portland Sanitarium, today's Portland Adventist Hospital. Shortly after his 28th birthday, Charles traveled to join his brother George, a self-supporting missionary in Trinidad. Sadly, within weeks of his arrival, Charles contracted yellow fever. He died on February 6, 1907, and he was the third missionary to die on the island of Trinidad. But George Enoch, who knew them all, wrote after his brother's death, "The last thought of a falling worker is not of regret at having made the effort, but rather, will someone grasp the standard as it falls from my hands?" That question still is posed to us this week in Adventist history.
Thanks for watching ANN. Join us next week for more news from the headquarters of the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
We'd love to hear from you. Send us your feedback and tell us how your church is making a difference in its community.
Be sure to capture plenty of video footage and photos, then write up a summary of the event's important details. And feel free to send full video reports as well.
And you can reach us by sending an email to annvideo11@gmail.com.
Before we say goodbye, here's some good news from the book of Psalms, chapter 107, verses 8 and 9.
And the passage says, "Let them thank the Lord for his steadfast love, for his wondrous works to the children of men. For he satisfies the longing soul, and the hungry should he fills with good things."
That's our program for this week. And remember, you can always visit news.adventist.org for the daily news and videos. Until next time, God bless.
Take care.